So often we focus on our physical fitness and we forget about our mental fitness, but the two come in hand. And what's so important when it comes to health and well-being is it's not about not being ill or just the absence of illness. No, it's about holistic health, being healthy in your mind, your body, your life, healthy relationships, your whole well-being. It's such a broad topic, but that's why I want to focus on mental and physical fitness, because we all know about 5 a day in terms of our nutrition, although it's supposed to be more, but never mind, as well as like keeping active. But often we don't think about our mental well-being and training our mind. And honestly, it doesn't matter what you look like and what you're doing. If your mind isn't in the right place, then it's really hard to have a state of well-being. Granted, physical fitness and working out really helps your mental health and your mood. It boosts your mood. I know, as someone who wakes up with severe anxiety on the morning and chronic fatigue, that I need to move first. Even though it's the last thing that I want to do, I know that I need to move first. So it's really, really important, fitness. But at the same time, I'd love you to be incorporating mental fitness into your regime. And it doesn't have to be a real strict routine, but it's about having time for self-care. And self-care doesn't have to be kind of airy-fairy, whatever you think. It can be, if you're like me, but it can be whatever feels good to you. And I don't mean just those quick dopamine hits of social media or those quick hits of a chocolate bar. It might be a bit of chocolate meditation. Should try that one. It's very good. But whatever it is to you that is self-care, do it daily. And even if you have to start with every other day and you have to literally write it in, it will save you so much time when you're mentally well, when you're taking a break, when you're going for a walk, when you're reading a book out of joy, when you're doing your cooking out of joy, rather than always punishing yourself, punishing your mind. Because there's this really brutal fitness thing about, train hard and, always power on, and fitness is ugly and horrid, but you'll reap the results at the end and all of that. And I don't believe in that. Honestly, you shouldn't be enjoying life. I'm not saying I don't find some workouts really hard, especially when my chronic fatigue is flaring up, but it's about long-term enjoyment, and it's about doing things that are good for our mind and our body. So if you need to incorporate yoga into your day, that's such a lovely moving meditation. Or you might like still meditation. I'm more of a moving meditator. I'm more of someone who has to be active in order to meditate and relax. I'm not very good at lying still because I have a lot of kind of trauma that I deal with. But it's finding what works for you. So self-care could be even taking a bath, or even just doing that little piece of artwork that you wanted to do, or even a little bit of painting. Whatever it is to you, it could be some boxing, it could be nipping out, well, you can't remember, but nipping out to see a friend. Whatever it is to you that makes you feel good and is a bit of self-care, because that time for restoring your mind is so, so important. Because I think what we end up with is that we either don't feel physically fit and then we're mentally drained as well, or we do focus on physical fitness, which does give us that nice adrenaline and releases endorphins, and it can really help our mood. But then we're just punishing ourselves the rest of the time, because we're like, oh well, we spent that time on the workout, now we're going to do this and this. And what you actually get is a state of toxic productivity, which is basically when you're busy being busy. And I'm guilty of this too, as someone who works from home, freelances, has kids, and just runs around everywhere, doing fitness, dance, self-love coaching, writing columns, being an author, writing blogs, making vlogs. And it is a state you can get yourself into if you're not pausing enough, is this toxic productivity where you feel like you have to always be going strong. And actually, it's almost impossible to do that. And then we're always trying to multitask when actually you can only switch tasks. So what it is, it's focusing on your mind and body. And when I'm talking online about mind and body, everyone's more attracted to body transformations and they want to look good, to feel good. And whilst that's all well and good, the problem is now what we've got is people are selling quick fixes to look good. And whilst that's fine and great, if that's what works for you, really in the long term, how happy are we? And that's what I'm really passionate about, is yes, by doing fitness and working out, you will probably feel better in yourself, you'll feel stronger, and it will really help you on your journey. But you also need to get your mind right as well, because you could be, you know, in the most desirable shape, whatever shape you think is desirable, it's all subjective. But without your mind in the right place, it doesn't matter. And actually, what's really important is focusing on yourself, your whole mind and body. So I know people don't find it as sexy to talk about mind transformations, and they're more appealed when we offer our body transformations. But it is your mind as well. And I can't tell you enough. I have positive affirmations sprinkled all around my house, in my toilet, in my bedroom, everywhere. And on days where I'm really struggling, even though I'm looking at it and thinking, well, it doesn't feel like today's a new day, or be your own best friend and love yourself. But it's that constant feeding my mind as well of good stuff. And it's that constant thing where we can consume lots of bad stuff if we're putting on different audio or TV that's negative, or we can make a choice to look after our minds and limit the bad stuff and consume positivity and good stuff to make you feel good. And that will honestly help your mental fitness. It will also probably make your mindset change, so you're more proactive about working out, because that's the problem. When people get into a negative mindset, they can often go, well, make excuses about not exercising, and, well, I'm stuck in this, I'm too busy to do this, I'm too busy to look after myself. But honestly, by doing that, you will save yourself so much time. So, to finish off with, build into your day and your week time for self-care, time for physical fitness. But remember, self-care is about mental fitness, and that's just as important as well. So the two go hand in hand, and we need them to be as well as possible. Look after your health, look after each other. Send you all so much peace, so much love, and so many shimmies.